Hey, how's it going, guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY, and today I'm showing you guys the latest and greatest fish tank that I'm running in the new house. So this is a multi-view tank. It's not necessarily the right tank for this, but it's about as close as I could get considering it's all four sides are able to be seen. Yeah, so basically you walk into my front door and then you get this nice view here. So I actually handmade the whole entire stand and everything. Hello, dog. And basically just bought a used tank from my local fish store. And this is a 90 gallon that has a built-in overflow. Pretty simple overflow, just single return and a single drain. You can see the drain is right here on this side, then returns on this side with just a little dual jet output there. And obviously that's all just PVC plumbed. We'll get to the bottom in just a second. The kind of boring stuff, we'll get the fun stuff out of the way first. So we have two Hydra 32s up here that are both just mounted on chains into the ceiling on hooks. And you can see the power cords, not the cleanest run. That's one thing I think I'd like to one day do, is maybe run them up the chains and like into the ceiling, and then have them maybe come back down over here and then back into the inside of the cabinet, which I'll show you guys why it had me go in the cabinet in a minute. We have this really nice Neptune Apex wave pump, and that's just basically a wave maker. You can do all different kinds of wave settings. And when I say all different kinds, I mean like every single kind you could possibly imagine. There's like probably 20 different settings, and you can adjust each setting at different time intervals, how hard the pulses are, how far apart, you know, constants, whatever. You can do all that. We get about, I would say, 85 to 90 pounds worth of live rock. We might even have a little bit more actually. You know, they say about a pound per gallon, and so I think I got about that, maybe a little bit more. But as far as fish go, the tank's definitely not like super populated for a 90 gallon. We have a 6-line wrasse, or wrasse. We have two clownfish. You can see one's just the OG basic clownfish, and this one's just one of the black and white. It's not one of the really fancy like storm ones or snowflake. We have a yellow Watchman goby. He's very pretty. I got him when he was really small, and he's actually done great. And then, let's see, other fish. I think the only other fish we have is a lawnmower blenny, which I'm trying to look for. Can't really do this stuff ahead of time in the video. I'm not seeing him. Maybe he'll turn up in the video, but he's pretty big, a pretty big blenny. And then I also recently got one of those really pretty dragonette that I think everyone calls, what is it? I can't remember if they call them gobies or blennies, but they're, I think, technically a dragonette. And then as far as coral goes, we have a Indo-torch here. We have a Zoa over there. I honestly can't remember the exact names of each one. I wish I did. Another Zoa right here. You can kind of see it like right there. And then we have some Galaxia right there. We have, God, what's this stuff called? It's like the really, really basic stuff. I can't even think of the name right now. Some type of polyp, I think. Here's another Galaxia. It's like a green and purple one. They got a really good deal on. There's a green leather coral right over there, green leather finger coral. Good amount of crabs and snails. Oh, and there's one more Zoa right there. But yeah, good amount of crabs and snails, kind of all different kinds. I don't really have any like turbo snails, because every time I've gotten them, they just seem to have the same problem where they flip over and die if I don't go in and flip them. So I'm not really into the turbo snails. I know they can be pretty good, but I really like the Nazareth and the what is it, Astrea snails, just because I don't really ever have problems with them flipping or anything. And they seem to do pretty good. And then as far as the other stuff in the tank goes, I do have a lid on mine, which I know is kind of a common controversy. I was able to pick this one off Amazon. It fits absolutely perfect on this 90. I originally got the Petco one that everyone said to stay away from, and I really should have listened, because it was not even close to fitting. It was too skinny, it wasn't long enough, and a lot of the foreigners people were saying those were awful, and yeah, they just weren't good. These ones from Amazon, they were amazing. They fit perfect, they work really good. It really suppresses the noise a lot, and my evaporation has gone way down. It also helps keep the heat in, which is nice. Obviously, you do kind of suffer. You lose a little bit of light penetration. You lose a little bit of the natural oxygen exchange that would be happening up top. But since I have a sump, which I'll show you guys, and that's open, I don't have to worry quite as much about the whole oxygen exchange, because a lot of that stuff's happening down here in my sump. And so in the sump, we got a lot of this is where a lot of the really expensive stuff comes in. So we have a lot of Neptune Apex stuff. So Here we have the Apex energy bar, and this is the, I think it's the 832. It has 8 ports on it, and these are basically just ports that are all on relays, so they turn on and off depending on what you have them set to. This is the actual Apex brain, or the Apex power unit, which goes to this fluid monitoring module, and there I have a few different things hooked up. We have our Neptune pH gauge and the Neptune temperature gauge. I got the, I think it's the EL Neptune model, which comes with 2 gauges instead of like the 4, just because the other 2 would be salinity and ORP, and I was told that those aren't even very accurate. ORP's not something I'd really even be looking at. You can see here though, here's my my drain line. I got a ball valve here, so I can kind of adjust that just in case it's, you know, flowing like way too much or anything. And then right here we have the return, which is just soft tubing. Might eventually upgrade that just because the hard tubing just looks so clean. But obviously that'd definitely be a future project. As far as auto top off, I do have the ATK auto top off kit, and then this is just a really cheap bucket. It was really hard to find something that would fit in this stand because I made it like just big enough. I could have gotten like the really nice matching sump, which this is the, oh geez, I'll have to pull my phone to remember, but it's a 36 gallon, pretty popular brand. And they have a matching one that goes with it, but it was like $150 for a 5 gallon, and I was like, okay, that's way too much. So for now, I'm just using this. Maybe I'll upgrade to that eventually. But the sump and the ATO work amazing. As soon as this little ball valve right here, float valve, which is like what's in a toilet basically, gets to the bottom and the 2 optical sensors read that's at the bottom, it'll automatically add water. Keep everything at optimal levels. You just keep your fresh water. In here, you want RO water. And then for the return pump, we have the Simplicity, I think this is the Simplicity 2100. And then for the skimmer, we have the Simplicity DC 240 DC, which seems to work pretty great. I just cleaned it like the other day. You can see I'm already getting a little bit of dirty bubbles up there again. So definitely working pretty good. It looks like I might need to adjust it up just a tad bit. Over here we have a really cheap grow light. When I say cheap, I mean like $15 special on Amazon. I'm just seeing how it works. I got like this little $30 refugium, which is basically just like a bunch of pieces of acrylic that you just kind of put together, and it makes a box that has, you know, holes in it and everything. And so I put some Cheeto in there, and then I have a thing of copepods that I poured in the other day. So I have no clue if they're still in there. Don't know if they all died. Don't know if they all got sucked up into the filter, but hopefully some of them took on to that Cheeto down there. And I also have a little bit of a mangrove that I got the other day as well, that's just kind of sitting in there. No clue if I have like the proper lighting, the proper conditions for that. I'm just kind of winging it and seeing how it goes, because that's kind of how I've gotten into this whole hobby, just kind of winging it. We got a pretty nice heater. I actually didn't even think to research what this one was. I want to say it was like a $80 heater though, so I'm imagining it's pretty decent, very accurate gauge and everything. I am using Simplicity 4-inch filter socks, and I think that's pretty much it for the whole sump system. But yeah, you can see, you know, we have our main large filtration here, then we have the skimmer to go through and collect all of the smaller nasty stuff, and then it goes back through this big filter here and then into the actual return pump. So got a good amount of filtration. Definitely though, I am in a lot of sunlight. I mean, as you can see, lots of sunlight going on around here, so I do have to clean the walls of the tank about every 2 to 3 days, which I've seen is pretty average with a lot of people. It all depends on how clean you like the tank too. I mean, obviously I could clean it once a week. It's just, it gets very dirty if I wait like a whole week. It ends up starting to get that like pretty big. I guess that'd be like green hair algae or something like that. I'm not really a fan of that. You know, the tank's kind of a centerpiece. It kind of puts the living room / kitchen together, in my opinion. So I try to keep it as clean as possible just to keep me happy, really. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's little setup of the aquarium. If you guys want to let me know in the comment section down below what you're running, because I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you probably have some type of tank, whether it's fresh or saltwater. Really appreciated talking to you guys in Twitch chat about your all's tanks and everything. I was surprised to see we have as many fish tank enthusiasts as we do. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to see anything else, any future updates, anything you guys think I should do with this tank, because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing and that I should or shouldn't do. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.